There we go. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
As I said in the title, how is it Sunday again?
We just had not a disagreement, but a discussion about the light, because I've got a brighter light in because I've been doing photography, and and I think it's really harsh.
It's
but
like the sun is there.
Oh gosh. But
whoa!
But Nick thinks it's better. So let us know what
I think
you
it's
think.
crisper because
Do you
normally
prefer
it's
this light, which is brighter, or the light that we normally have? Because I think that the lower light is maybe just a little bit more forgiving.
And in about half an hour, we'll get down to the responses.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to this thing we do on a Sunday. We've had lots of new subscribers. If you are watching for the first time, you are very welcome. There is a live side chat, so do pop in and say hello if it is your first time. We will read some messages whilst people are joining us. 113 in with us so far. So first in was Angel Delight Elaine. Happy Sunday. Quick question from Emma. Do you want to read that one?
Well, you can read it if you want.
Okay. Good evening. I'm a private seller on eBay. Just today, I was messaged by a buyer stating they haven't got an item, but tracking shows a photo of the package at their front door. Where do I stand? I suppose it depends if the tracking is showing as delivered. If you've got tracking on that order and the tracking says it's delivered, you should be covered. I would contact eBay and let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's going to depend whether you have the tracking number and that's been recorded as delivered, because that's all you need really to be covered. Hopefully it sounds like it should work out in your favor.
Yeah, we've had this issue ourselves.
Yeah.
And eBay generally closing. Sometimes they refund both, but yeah, if you've got tracking that says it's delivered, then that's as much as you can do. So
yeah, eBay may, if the buyer continues to contest it, eBay may cover you in this one and refund them. Sometimes I wouldn't like to guarantee it, but I think, touch wood, as a beam, hopefully you'll be fine.
But then
Ross has answered.
I was just thinking, I was just thinking that because Emma's a private seller, not too sure on that, because I know that there's obviously seller protection, so I'm not sure. And that's for business sellers. So I'm not sure how it would work, but I would think you'd be okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think chances are you'll be okay, but contact eBay and let them know what's going on. Ross has kind of said the same stuff there. Yeah, fingers crossed for you. Yeah, Ross has gone on. If they open the case, I'm pretty sure they'll find in your favor. Yeah, if you've got tracking that shows it's delivered, we've had that a number of times and it's worked out fine for us all the time, I think, pretty much. So yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. Right. Yeah, they've had a big chat about it on there.
Oh, hang on, you've missed Ross's weekly update.
Go on then.
Hi, Nick and Andrea. Hope you're well. Already in the first week of January, made the profit I made for all of January 24. Brilliant. Bought camcorder, £25 in charity shop, sold £200 on eBay. Fantastic.
He's showing us how to do it. Showing us how to do it is
currently
Ross.
Packing for GC Tuesday to thaw out.
What does that mean? GC Tuesday?
GC Tuesday. Packing for GC Tuesday to thaw out.
I don't know what that means.
GC. Don't know.
Excellent sale though. That's a tidy flip, that one. 25 into 200. Okay, we've got Ian with us. Oh, Ben's in. Hello. Good to see you. Quick question. Will there be a video of you going through your backlog? There might be. We're going to talk about this soon. More plans and kind of things we're going to try and put in place, and we want to get out of you lot what you do to be more productive, because an overarching thing for us is we need to turn over stock quicker.
Yes.
No matter what that means and how we do it, that's our goal.
And I've already started implementing my plan for that.
Right.
And I'm going to do a vlog, like a work from home vlog tomorrow. So I'll show some of my office and what I'm doing and etc. So there'll be a little bit of an update of what I'm doing tomorrow. It won't be uploaded tomorrow, but I'm going to film it tomorrow.
And some of you may be aware, there was a live stream I put out with Richard and Derek and Andrew, Tom couldn't make it. We're all doing a listing challenge. So that's my first push. I'm just getting back into listing. And drafts over the weekend are admissible. So I've been drafting. I haven't submitted anything yet, but I've been drafting, and I'm going for it with this listing challenge. We're competing against each other. We're counting how many new listings we create and the total value of the stuff. I'm also going to track anything that sells from the newly listed stock and track those numbers as well.
Okay.
So I know a bunch of you are going to play along at home and share your figures when we come back in a week's time and see how we did. James is in, nearly halfway through January already. Seriously?
Well, it's the 11th. No, 12th today.
Yeah, I suppose we're getting there.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Oh, I always find it really difficult this time of the year in terms of I really want it to warm up. So I want it to be spring, but at the same time, I don't want to wish my life away, and I want to make the most of every day and the most of all the time that we have.
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, but I just want it to be warmer as well. So it's kind of...
We don't function very well in the cold. It just makes everything, certainly for me, I'm not good with the cold.
I drove Ellen to work today and it was -4.
Well,
-4, and it was like the whole of Norfolk had been in the deep freeze.
Yeah,
it was so pretty though, because it was a blue sky, the sun was out, it looked like it had snowed, but it hadn't. Everything was white.
Yeah,
and it was beautiful. And then I woke you up and I said, let's go for a walk, but by the time we got it organized, the sun had just melted it.
But we took Jeff out in the woods. There's a video on Jeff's Instagram. Yes, he has an Instagram.
It's called The Daily Jeff, if anyone wants to follow it.
Yeah, but it was still freezing. I couldn't feel my face or my hands by the time I came home.
Yeah, I actually reshared that Daily Jeff post on my story. So if you follow me on Instagram, which is just _Andrea Hills _, you can click through that story and you'll get to the Daily Jeff. So
let's whiz through and say some hellos. Tamara, Elaine, just above freezing, has been -10. -10?
Oh, Elaine's in Scotland, isn't she?
Oh, I don't do. January is my least favorite month.
Yeah, -4 was bad enough.
You know, you've got the post-Christmas come down, you've got tax return, and you've usually got cold, dark, wet, miserable.
I actually asked Ellen if last Monday was Blue Monday, because I just felt like there was just a mood, like everybody was in a bit of a mood last Monday.
Was it Blue Monday?
I don't think it technically is.
Is that tomorrow?
I'm not sure when it is. When is Blue Monday?
All the Mondays in January.
Somebody tell us when Blue Monday is. But it felt like it was last Monday.
I have no heating.
Oh no.
The dogs and I have been doing research from under a duvet.
-7. Oh.
Good God.
No.
Oh. Richard, hello, mate. Richard is in the challenge with us, and I might stand a chance of beating him because a lot of his stock is packed up. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hillary, hello. Yeah, we are well. Hope you are too. Anne is with us. Keeping well and staying warm. Yeah, we've got the heating on. The log burner's on in there where Ellen is. Well, she's wrapped up in a blanket. We
try not to have the heating on for long periods of time. So we have like 2 hours and 2 hours. It's been on maybe 3 hours instead of 2 the last few days because it's been minus figures.
Well, normally in the evenings, we go in the living room, shut the doors and get the log burner on, and it's like an oven. It's amazingly warm.
Toasty in there, but then you come out here and you can see your breath and you're like, oh, hot water bottle, run to bed.
Come out to go to the loo, get cold, go back in the snug.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we operate.
Yeah.
Tina and Deborah and Mark, welcome everybody. See what by? Welcome. Helen, Natalie, lots of people.
I see Blaney.
George is in. Oh yeah, sorry, see Blaney and Joe. Welcome everybody. What's George saying? Evening, Nick, Andrew, and chat. We have our train and hotel booked for the meetup. Looking forward to it. Excellent.
Yeah, that's creeping up.
Yes, that will be upon us soon. It is open to anybody and everybody. It is a social meetup. We will be at the Angel Vaults in Hitchin on Sun Street on the, what's the date? 22nd of Feb.
Yeah.
On the Saturday,
yeah.
from 12 till the pub shuts us out. And then for those, the hardcore bunch will be out on the town after that, possibly.
Yeah. But if you can't make that, Ross has got one the week after in Milton Keynes.
Yes.
So talk to Ross about that.
Yes. I can't see us making that one.
There's also an eBay one, isn't there, in London? I think that's the day before Ross's.
I believe so. There's meetups everywhere. But yes, looking forward to seeing everybody who's coming. Yes, exactly. Oh, there's chats going on. Chris is in. Good to see you, Pete. Okay, let's see if we got any responses. What was the question we asked?
I assume you thanked Chris in your last live.
Yeah, certainly did. I've thanked him. I've sent a message anyway. But yes, thanks again for the vinyl.
Come on, it's 8:01. Yeah.
That's normal for us, I'm afraid.
It's pretty normal.
Right, hello everybody. I can't click on everyone. Oh, it's Tara.
Oh, hello, Tara.
Yeah, Jake says it's freezing.
Derek.
What's Derek saying? Hi Nick, you look very tired. I think you should take the next week easy. Relax and sit back for the week. I've already been on it. I've been working through Dungeons and Dragons books. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, you have been working today.
I've done some work today. Did a bit yesterday. I'm on it. I'm in this to win it. We're going to do another live stream on Wednesday. We've never done this when we've done listing challenges. We normally wait a week and then give our totals, but we decided we'll have a chat on Wednesday and see where we're at halfway. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Julie says hi from Central Florida. Hello, Julie. I imagine it's a bit warmer where you are.
You think?
Yeah.
Sean is with us. Ali.
Working Sundays again. We generally do.
We do a little bit some Sundays, not every Sunday, but Okay. Right. Now you were asking about lights. That's what we asked about.
Oh, yes. I prefer the old light. I do too. This one washes you out.
Do we look pale?
The trouble is,
this is my winter look.
I'll tell you what the issue is. I don't want to look at it because it makes me blind. Yeah, we tried to put that light in and it wasn't connecting for some reason. The light fitting's a bit dodgy and it wasn't connecting. So Nick's had to sellotape it in.
Yeah. I need to change the bit that holds the light in. It's got an old brass fitting on it and it's loose. Doesn't sound good, I know. But it means when you twist the bulb in, the two little things misalign to the contacts. So I need to change it. I'll never get around to it. So you have to hold the bulb in a certain position with a bit of sellotape. Welcome to our world.
Oh dear. Yeah, so we're a bit loath to change it at the moment because of my new routine, I'm photographing a certain amount of things every day. So yeah, if we take it out and then try and put it back in again, it's going to be awkward.
Oh, going back to that tracking issue as Emma had, Lisa saying, I always have a look on Street View and see if it's the front door, see if it matches.
Yeah.
Like a little detective. Wow.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you've got tracking and you haven't entered it, that will be key to getting eBay to back you.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that. Okay. Pete says, I did the same thing, got a brighter light to do photos and record vids. Yeah. Well, you've been doing pictures here and I've been doing some in here as well. And we switched the bulbs to that. Normally we have a more warm light, which isn't as harsh.
Yeah, this is 120 watt.
Yeah, it's
bright.
So yeah, we thought we'd just generally chat about what people do to keep themselves productive. Do you have any methods that help keep you on track? Do you list in batches? Do you set yourself targets? We're not particularly good with setting goals. You're very anti setting goals and stuff. But I don't know. I'd be interested to know if you have any methods to keep yourself productive, whatever that is, what works for you. Because I think we're both a bit kind of, what's the term, loosey-goosey.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do little, but every day, if you know what I mean, because that's manageable to me.
Yeah. And I think that is one of the best first steps to better productivity is start off just saying, like you're going, I'm going to start with 5 listings a day, fit that in wherever I can.
Instead of thinking, right,
then,
I want to do a certain amount every week and then trying to just batch doing things, then I get overwhelmed. I'm trying to break it down every day. So a little bit every day.
Yeah. What I find with productivity is if I have a big push for listing, this next week for me will be a big push for listing. I'm on this challenge, but it generates sales. So I then spend half my time packaging. So you have this weird knock-on effect where you're then not very productive with listing, because some days I'll spend all day packaging. You may have seen on Instagram, I've just sold 2 sets of the Dwarven Forge scenery, which went for £400, which is amazing. But I'm going to pack the hell out of that. It's going to America and it's fragile. It's resin stuff. And we've got a lot of stuff going out tomorrow now, I think. Some fragile stuff, some stuff that's going to take a lot of time to pack. It's a good problem to have, selling a lot of stuff. But I find that, so I'm super productive with listing, and then it tails off because I sell a load. Yeah, I find it hard to get in habits, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Stu says, I've also been drafting today. I suspect it's the Brussels sprouts.
Excellent.
Jessica says, evening chaps, how was the jumble, or did you hibernate? Was it? I thought it was the 18th. Was it not?
It may have been another one.
Okay.
We had one in our heads. It was for another week. We really don't need to go. So if we missed one, it's not a bad thing, really.
Well, I'm not sure.
I do love a jumble.
We may make it to next week's, but it depends on.
Is it a Sunday?
What Ellen's doing, because she's got her audition next week.
Oh yeah.
So
exciting.
Yeah. Dig Vintage went to the car boot this morning, absolutely freezing.
Oh yeah. I would struggle at this time of year. Well, with these temperatures, I've done winter car boots, but when it's this cold, I just can't cope. I freeze.
Some people are wanting to have a meet up somewhere warm. let's all go on holiday en masse.
You'll be warm in the pub.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, apparently Blue Monday isn't real, but the main thing is we talk about it and raise mental health awareness. Yeah.
Yep. I like it when you can really see the days drawn out again.
Yeah.
I love that. Just quickly, we mentioned Ellen has an audition. Ellen is going for her first professional audition as a professional dancer. She's been busy getting, her headshot and her CV. They don't call it a CV though, do they? What do they call it in dancing? Can't remember. She's done a reel of her dancing, and she's got all of that together.
So if you can send her lots of positive thoughts and lots of positive vibes her way. She's at the very least, it's going to be experience, So
yeah, she's not naive. She knows the business. Chances of getting a job on your first audition are slim.
But it's doable.
We're biased, but you may have seen her on Instagram. She's got so much talent. It's just whether she's right for this role. It's part of a touring company she's applying to be part of. I'm just chuffed to bits that she's got an audition, because that's not easy to just get through the door sometimes. So yeah, exciting. Did you highlight one?
Yes. Was it Dr. of Darb? Says, howdy, had thought today with the new eBay model, it must be tough as a business seller competing with private sellers, as private can lower their prices as no fees. Well, yes, but then if you joined last week's live, you'll know that there are changes afoot, which will kind of level things out just slightly.
Yes, eBay are doing buyer fees that the buyer pays when buying from a private listing, so it's kind of leveling out, but it does make it a little bit complicated and confusing, as I think that was George's point in his video that I still need to watch. Yeah. But I do know what you're saying, and it has been like that for a while with free fees.
We have a super chat.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much. How do you pronounce that?
Distrust City Experiment.
Okay.
I think.
I just opened my first eBay store. Do you have any information I might need to know?
I don't know. What would you need to know? When you have a store, you can get packing supplies as part of the store, don't you? Or is that only on the mid and higher level stores? What are we now? We're the
lowest.
We went down from a mid level to the lowest, and we don't get packing supplies anymore.
No.
Depends what size store you are, but I was going to say, if you are in a store where you get packing supplies, remember to use your voucher every month. I used to forget some months. It's so annoying. I don't know. What else would you need to know?
I don't know. Maybe people in the chat can give you some advice on things that they may think you need to know.
I'll make an assumption that you're starting at the smallest store, which is where we are. Do your sums and work out at which point it makes sense to upgrade. There is a number that I always forget because you get a certain amount of free listings on the lowest store. As we're paying per listing. So there's an economic point where you hit a number of listings where it pays to pay the extra and get loads more free listings. I hope that made sense. I should do a video about it and just put the numbers out there because I always forget.
Julie says it's 61 degrees here today. Tonight, 49 degrees. Now, I don't know how we translate that into how we do it.
I'll translate that. A lot warmer than here.
A lot warmer than here.
You're just showing off, Julie.
C. Blaney says, great idea, Reece, Street View, but if the buggers have changed their front door since the last time Google drove past.
Right.
James asks, did the long-term missing light in the shed ever get replaced?
No, and a couple of people have said to me that you can get the fittings in there are really old. I was going to change the fittings. I actually bought some. And somebody else was saying you can get LED tubes that fit in those anyway. Yeah. Right? Use those fittings. It's one of those jobs that I've always got a list of other jobs to do before I deal with that. So I'm still operating on one tube light in the shed. Yeah. I've got no more to say on that. I need to prioritize that job really. Now it is very dark and
it's very, very much a theme in our house that things just stay as they are for quite a while.
I do lots of DIY, but there's always a pressing list of jobs.
I think stock gets moved into the hallway and that's where it stays for about 2 weeks before. And you keep saying, oh, I know I need to move the stock. I know I need to move it. I know I need to move it. And it stays there until sometimes I just get fed up and move it.
There are always jobs on the list that get shuffled down to the bottom all the time.
What was it you said to me the other day? I'm sorry, I know that the living room is starting to look like a jumble sale. I will deal with it.
Well, it's worse now because I do all the packing out there in the shed, but if I'm going to sit and research or sit and list, I'm not going to be out there. In the summer, it's great.
At the moment, as soon as you've finished packing, you're in here and you're like,
I'm in here with a cup of
tea. Yeah. Tina says, I'm on the waiting list to get a dog from the Dogs Trust. You never know, it may be a Jeffer-like. I can't wait. Sorry, it's not reselling orientated, but I can't wait. I'm really excited for you, Tina. So, keep us updated.
When you say Jeffer-like, if you mean a Westie, be prepared for a stubborn little...
They're gorgeous dogs. They've got lovely temperaments. They're very loving, very cuddly, but they're very set in their ways. Let's put it that way.
They have a determined nature. You can't convince them of once their mind is set on something. That's it. Like for example, let's go for a walk. Oh yeah, Dad, let's go for a walk. Stop. I'm not walking anymore. No. And that's it. Walks
walking in the woods today. With the first half of not quite the first half, about the first quarter of the walk, I should think, was him running, stopping, barking, because he was protesting. He was like, I'm not sure. I don't know if I like this. I think it's a bit scary. Imagine like Winnie the Pooh and Piglet rolled into one in the 100-acre wood and like, oh, dear. Oh, I think I'm a bit scared.
And then every now and again, he gets all excited and loves it. And then he remembers, hang on.
And he'll run at top speed and be like, yay, I love it. And then he'll stop and be like, oh, I heard a noise.
It's like he suddenly remembers, hang on, I'm scared of the woods. Right? So funny. It's funny and annoying in equal parts.
And then he will just stop and bark. And you have to encourage him to move again.
Yeah. But exciting news.
And then if you get a gunshot in the background or...
Oh, it's game over then.
Or some kind of, what do they call them? Bird scarers or whatever you get. That's it. We're going home. You cannot convince him otherwise.
But yes, best of luck finding your dog. You have to let us know how you get on. Maggie,
thankfully, we did get almost all the way to our turnaround bit. So we got nearly the whole walk, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Before the bang went, and then he decided it was time to come back to the car.
Yeah. Maggie says our boiler gave up just before Christmas 4 years ago. It's an expensive replacement as we are oil, as are we. But the new one is much cheaper to run. Yeah, thankfully here, the boiler here was replaced just before we bought this place. So this one's pretty efficient, actually. Our fuel bill here is pretty good considering
considering it's oil, it's not too bad.
But yeah, just before Christmas. It's like our telly pack. We got a new telly. It's all singing, all dancing.
I'm really surprised how cheap it was. I know we got a little bit off in the sale, but still, it was really cheap.
Yeah, and it's got all the fancy, smart stuff on it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Ellen was like, "Oh my God, I feel like I've got Sky TV again. We have channels." For the last 2 years, we haven't had channels on our TV.
Well, we stream everything.
We've just been streaming from the apps using
which worked fine. Chromecast was fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but now Ellen's enjoying scrolling through and finding something. She's watching Harry Potter at the moment.
And I've got loads of documentary. I've got endless documentaries I can watch now.
Yeah.
Pete says, hello, Nick and Andrea. Had a bad few months, but your videos and live streams really helped to watch and relax. Well, I'm glad they're helping and hope things improve. Yeah. I subconsciously react against the pressure of goals. I just potter it somehow. It somehow all gets done. That's kind of us.
That is us. Yeah.
But I think we need a sprinkling of organization in amongst it.
Yeah, I need a little bit of a plan.
Yeah. The thing is, in all seriousness, I certainly rebel against control. I rebel against being told what to do, even if I tell myself what to do. I rebel against myself. So it's a constant battle between, enforcing rules and how much time I'm going to work this day and that day, and then rebelling against it anyway.
Yeah.
It's a weird one because I love what I do. In fact, I can work too much. But I'm a contradiction wrapped up in a confused mess.
We're rebels without a clue.
That's exactly what I am. Yes. Are you the same?
Yes, I
am. But yeah, we are consciously thinking this year, what things can we put in place, or mini targets or whatever, not targets because that puts you off. So let's know what you do, what works.
Well, we know that, I know definitely that I need to get through my stock. So I've got to make some sort of plan to make that manageable.
Yep.
So it's not overwhelming to me. And I feel like this is manageable and I'm enjoying it, actually. I get up in the morning and I'm like, right, what 5 things am I going to go and choose today?
Yeah.
I'm actually not necessarily choosing things at the moment. Because if anyone saw the video, you saw the state of my floor. So I'm literally just going in and taking the things that are nearest to me. so that I can clear my floor space before I can get to the shelves.
I'm going to have to take this off.
That's kind of my plan. Clear the boxes, clear the floor space, then I can tackle the shelves.
But I find that works. Stop saying to myself, I'm just going to do these couple of books here.
Yeah.
And that feels like the hardest thing in the world to do, just to get started, because something with my brain, starting is the hard bit.
Yeah.
And then I crack through them in no time. And then I've got those endorphins and that dopamine from having completed a task. And then I'm off. And then I'm off to the races, right? And then it's hard to stop. So it's about, and I've said this recently, actually, it's about tricking myself into starting. I'm not very good at getting going in the day. That I could work on, bringing my start time back, so I'm not starting so late.
Yeah.
But it's about,
you end up coming to bed like 4 or 5 in the morning.
I've always been that. Yeah. I work late into the night. I was drafting last night. And once I get into that zone, I absolutely love it. Get some music on and go. Yeah. Derek said in here, I try to list here we go, small batches where possible, i.e. VCRs until I store VCRs until I have about 10 and then power through them all. Absolutely. Because you then get in a kind of flow, don't you? I do the same thing. I'll save up a stack of whatever it might be, electronics, phones, for example, or books or media, and do a pile.
Yeah.
Because you can also do a draft and then just copy a load of drafts if that helps in certain categories.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Natalie schedules 5 things a day.
Yeah.
Valentin says, I think about my New Year's resolution, get debt free by the end of the year. That's a very good plan to have.
It's an admirable goal. Go for it. Debt is so expensive. We set ourselves that target many years ago and managed to achieve it. And it's the best thing we did. Absolutely.
Ben says, there's a website called Jobs a Lot, and I've heard good things about this website where you can buy returns in bulk or new in bulk. Do you guys know if it's good? Never heard of it.
No, we tend to get our job lot deals from private connections, people I've met over the years. We don't tend to do it through a firm like that. I'd love to dabble in it. Never say never. I enjoy watching those Amazon returns pallets, but I find those can be very risky because you have to buy sealed. We used to watch Steve and Steph. You may remember. We've kind of lost touch now, but they were really good friends for a few years. And they used to do these blind pallet buys. Well, sometimes you could peek in and have a look and you get an idea of what's there. But sold as seen, you never know what's working. If it's returns, half of it's broken. But you can make a lot of money on it. I don't know. One day I'll have a go, maybe. I'll tell you what I've always fancied doing as well. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Is that lost luggage stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw a video pop up on my feed the other day where somebody bought a load of every parcels that were like lost in the system or something.
Blimey.
Yeah. That would fascinate me. But
Imagine
like
if you
Christmas.
did that and you found one that was yours. I
found one of my lost parcels.
Wow.
Here it is.
I've been looking for that.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Oh, Martin says, trying to list 5 per day, but tax return needs finishing. Yes, we haven't even started ours.
Well, I've got all of this week coming, listing like crazy, and then then it'll be
the last 2.
Sit down.
We are very lastminute.com with the tax return.
Always have been.
Yeah, finishing, trying hard to keep motivated. Yes. Yeah, we relate to that. What's Kevin saying? Anyone know anything about the new way eBay go to do the payments from the 4th of February with get paid after the item's delivered with the still give you I don't know. Sorry. Wasn't really reading that very well.
No, I don't think it flows particularly well, but we did cover this in our last video. We printed off a load of the frequently asked questions, And I think I linked that in the last video. So you might be able to go to that video and have a look. But yeah, for private sellers, not for business sellers, eBay are going to pay out when tracking shows as delivered. Yes. For the ins and outs, really, you need to go and read eBay's frequently asked questions on that one.
Yeah. Dick Vintage says, on productivity, my dad used to say, do a bit and leave a bit. It helps me to avoid perfectionism. Good enough gets it done.
That's what you need to work on.
I know, I do. I really do, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist in that way.
I find freeing yourself up regarding listing and getting it perfect and getting your pictures perfect and everything perfect. Have a browse around eBay, right? Look at the status of some of these sold listings and then go, oh, okay, I needn't be so perfectionist, because, you know, those listings, which is like, it just says pair of shoes or something, and the picture's in the corner of a dark room, and they're sold.
Yeah, crazy. Jamie says, please don't use the AI function to save time on your descriptions. They are both hilarious and annoying in equal measure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We recently had a seller council. Well, it wasn't actually a proper seller council, was it? It was kind of just to chat with that guy from the States.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a chat with some of the guys up at eBay, and AI came up, and we were giving our opinions.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think they're working on improving it, but we did say it can be quite hilarious. But what they did suggest, which I think is a really good suggestion, is do the AI thing, but then tweak it, because you don't have to just use the AI thing and then that's it. You can go in, you can tweak it, so you can use it as a basis and then just add extras.
They said they're working on adapting the AI so it prompts you to put in useful information, right? Size, dimensions and things, which I think might be useful. But as a buyer, and I fed this back, as a buyer, when I'm buying vinyl or whatever it is, if I see an AI description, it gives me way less trust in that seller and that description. Because if they can't be bothered to write, you know, I only want 3 or 4 sentences describing it. If they're handing over their trust into AI to describe the item, I don't trust it. I want to buy from someone who's taken the time to write their own description. And you can spot an AI description a mile off, because it gives you a load of flowery. This record is on black vinyl. It will be a great addition to your collection if you are into, you know,
black vinyl. The gentleman marketeer, hello, says, hi both. I'm super focused, trying to grow my business. Don't have an issue with motivation, have an issue taking time out.
Right.
I sometimes think I only have a certain amount of time left.
Well, I not so much these days. You might have a difference in opinion, but certainly when we worked in retail, I worked every hour God sent. And it is, that can be a problem.
Yeah. And I think that you're right. I think about this all the time. Like, you know, I think you just need to find a balance in some ways, which is not easy, but you do need to find a balance, because I think the same thing, that we only have a certain amount of time on this planet, and, you know, we may not have the full amount of time that we think that we might have. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. Tomorrow's not certain, so you have to make the most of every day. And like they always say, that when you when your time's up, you're not going to say, oh, you know, I wish I'd finished my listings or whatever. You're going to say, I wish I'd told that person I loved them. I wish I'd spent more time with that person. I wish I'd, you know, done this or that or the other, which is to do with your family and your friends and your own life and exploring the world and, you know, all those things. You're not going to say, you know, oh, damn it, I didn't get my 50 listings done every week.
This got incredibly deep all of a sudden. But I'm totally on board with what you're saying. It's one of those kind of paradoxes with being self-employed. we get out of it what we put in. So the tendency is to keep putting more of ourselves in so our business thrives, right?
Yeah.
But there's a tipping point where you burn yourself out. Speak to Mel, back from burnout. There's a reason she's called that. And we've been there over the years with it, where you just put too much of yourself in, so you're actually being less productive. And taking time out is time well spent. But I've never been very good at that part of it.
No.
Yeah.
Obviously we need the money to live and to live comfortably.
Mm.
So there has to be that balance.
Yeah. And I'm better at it these days because we've got ourselves in a position, and I keep reminding myself we're in this position so we don't have to work all hours God sends like we used to. But I still love what I do. So yeah.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? I can't remember. It went out of my head because I started reading Debbie's comment here.
So many dogs are stubborn.
We're so behind in the chat. We're on what we were talking about, Jeff. Yeah, so funny, Andrew, about things being left in the house for a few weeks. I think it's like that with many households. Things get moved into one room and they just stay there and become part of the furniture.
Yeah. We've got more space in this house than we've ever had, and we still fill all spaces with stock.
Tamara says, Westies, I have Salukis if you want stubborn.
Salukis? What do Salukis look like?
Beautiful dogs, aren't they?
They're tall, thin ones.
Yeah, with beautiful
I think I know.
hair and gorgeous dogs.
Yes.
Summed up, Jeff, there. Yes. Tina says, I only want a small dog. My dog Hugo was a Staffy, maybe. I lost him 2 years ago, unfortunately.
Don't know how to be calm.
Staffies don't know how to be calm.
Right. Jeff, during the day, Jeff is on guard, trying to protect us all the time. And then he finally relaxes when we shut the shutters at the front of the house and shut the world out. And he's like, right, I can stop protecting my family now. And then he zonks out on the sofa. But he's on it all day, isn't he? He just doesn't relax.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I think we covered this the other week, didn't we? But it's true. Pathological demand avoidance.
Pathological demand avoidance?
Yeah. Not being able to, is it not being able to get started or having things in one place and just they become part of the furniture? You just leave them there. Just don't even bother moving them.
And we are both those type of people where I've got 2 weeks to fill out this form and get it in, right? When do we do it? The last hour before it can be handed in, or like on an online form, you've got a deadline. It's like, oh, I've got a whole day to do that.
Yeah, Ellen's the same.
And our daughter's exactly the same. Lastminute.com people, we are.
Yeah.
We need pressure and motivation to do things.
Ross says, starting is always the hardest bit for me on anything, Nick. Things are easier once you start, and quite often the tricky thing to do is list. No, the tricky thing to list is the thing that sells within 24 hours. It's true.
I've said it so many times on the channel. I'll leave something on the shelf. I had a couple of coffee machines in there for ages that you bought, I think. Well, you bought the expensive one. It sat on the shelf for probably 12 months. Listed it, sold within 24 hours for £100. And I said to myself in a video, I'm sure, on Insta, why do I procrastinate on these things? It wasn't even difficult to list, really. It's things that need cleaning, testing, and all of that. I just think, well, I've got some media over there I can list, and I can do 10 of them in, no time. Yeah.
Hello, Queen Neen says, hi both. Watching with my partner. We're also both flippers. Our house also resembles a jumble sale, though he has storage. Sometimes it feels overwhelming, but I remind myself it's worth it. Yeah, it's just how it is, really.
And when you feel overwhelmed with stuff, just take a step back and go, everybody else who does this has moments like this. We've been doing this for 20 odd years, and we get overwhelmed fairly regularly. Yeah. It's a normal state of mind, especially when you're tired or you've had a busy, because we've got lives going on. All of us have lives, right? And when life gets complicated, and then you walk into your house and there's a pile of crap in it, you're like, I can't.
And I sometimes just feel, you know, if one of our neighbours comes to the door, and I think, I don't want to invite you in for a cup of tea or something, because you're just going to think, my God, what the state of it.
We all have friends that know us well enough that it's fine. You know, we've got some really good friends in the village now who know exactly what we do, and have been in the shed and seen us in full flow of crap everywhere. Yeah. But people you don't know that well, sometimes it's like, no, you can't come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was a funny scene in EastEnders the other day where I don't know if anyone watches EastEnders, but when Phil needed an intervention and they all turned up, and they looked at his table, which had a few dirty mugs on it and a couple of bits of paper or something. And they went, the state of this place.
Yeah.
And I looked around our living room and I thought, that's nothing.
You should see a reseller's living room, right?
Oh, it did make me laugh.
Yeah. But yes, Queen Lean, just know that we're all like that. And we all struggle with it. It's perfectly normal.
Funky Neil says, the only thing I schedule every day is a nap after lunch. Oh, that's 2 things.
Neil, we are at napping age, aren't we, mate? Yes. I love a nap.
Beyond World One is doing their tax return right now. I look forward to next year as eBay directly takes the postage from the sold amount, so I won't have to record it all.
Oh, interesting. Well, that'll only be if you're paying for your post to eBay. That's an interesting one. I have to look into that.
Yeah. Retro Shed, hello, says, hi guys, I'm new to becoming a business seller. Can you recommend any good apps or ways for monitoring costs, profit, etc. for tax purposes, for doing a tax return at the end of the year?
Hands up here, us. We are not the people to ask about being organised for that.
But we're also old-fashioned. We write it in a book.
We have ledgers. We have boxes of receipts and ledgers. We've tried QuickBooks. We even worked with QuickBooks for a short period of time. But we were like, we're so stuck in our ways from back in the 90s. Right?
Yeah. But I prefer it that way, because you just see it there in front of you. And you don't have the worry about losing it if it's digital or whatever. It's just there.
Yeah.
I
would say shop around. There'll be plenty of videos on here, people talking about the software they use. A lot of people use QuickBooks. It does have some really good functions like scanning a receipt and logging it and all that stuff.
There are lots of apps out there now.
There's Xero and there's all sorts. So I would say shop around, but we're not the people to ask, because we're still not actually that organised.
No, we do need to find something that works for us though, because it's only a couple of years away before we have to do it.
Well, they've been talking about pushing us to have digital records and recording and tax returns for years. They've been talking about saying it will be mandatory, but they're not there yet. I just saw George was in. We said George. Hi,
hello,
George. Antoinette, hello.
People just talking about the AI thing. I'm trying to get down to the bottom.
Yeah, the vinyl AI descriptions.
Oh, there have been lots of good lucks for Ellen, so thank you very much. Sharon says, good luck to Ellen. Been there, done that. Attended a stage school in Coventry. Auditioning is nail biting, but everyone is another valuable experience. Yeah. You must both be so proud. We are.
We will forever be proud parents. We just hope that it's a positive experience, if anything, right? Whether she gets the job or not, this needs to be a positive experience and spur her on, because she's just starting that journey, right?
Yeah. Retro Going Gone says, AI is not as good as your own description. No. I don't think so. I have noticed that list 1 or 2 days. The best way is time for yourself and family. It's like a first coffee of the day. Yeah.
It's all about achieving that balance that I have yet to achieve.
But that's why we do what we do. So we have that life balance, really. We have that so we can drop everything and be there for our family if they need us, so that we can, if somebody says, oh, we're having a gathering, we can say, right, okay, we'll work another day, or we'll work in the evening.
And we do. And we are now, we don't, well, it's been a long time that we haven't worked in retail, but it's a lot easier now. We don't have the rigid hours of the shop.
But even then, because we ran it ourselves, I was still able to go to Ellen's like assemblies or things that she had at school. And
if it was important, we would just both go.
Exactly.
For most anything important at all, we would both go.
Derek says, I have a reel-to-reel player that's been in my spare room for at least 2 years, determined to sort of list it this week, but said that on the past 2 challenges.
Right.
So that's a challenge in itself, Derek.
List it.
Oh, hello, Porky.
Hello.
George says, love reselling. Can't imagine doing anything else now. Same.
It gets in your blood. It really does. And it suits certain people. It suits certain personality types. I firmly believe that. Many people don't stick at it for long because it's not easy. It's a lot of work and it's relentless. But if it sits right with you and it works, some of us just can't stop.
Derek says, I have items I literally have to step over to get to stuff for years, eventually list, and it sells so quick.
Exactly the same, Derek. Well, you've probably seen Andrea's room. You have to step over a lot of stuff in there, and it's all breakable. How have you not broken half of it?
Well, I have good balance. I saw that Pilates.
It's a death trap in there. And Board Game HQ is just about the same now. That room is now full of stuff, and I've spread it around while I've been sorting it. It's
still got personal stuff in there as well, which needs sorting.
We need
a couple of vacuum bags for the duvets and stuff, so we can store those in the cupboard.
Oh, did you buy some?
Yeah.
Oh, you got some. Yeah.
Tomorrow says, I spent most of this year casually wondering where my 2 big folding tables had gone so I could do a boot fair. Over Christmas, I suddenly realised what I'd been shuffling around for the last 12 months. It's a bit like going, well, what did I do with my glasses? They're on top of your head.
I can relate to that so much. I get blind to stuff and just walk around it, and then it's like it's not there. It becomes part of the furniture.
Yeah. Deborah says, as we chat, my living room is looking like an antique shop. I sell at fairs, next one in February. I can't even see my dining table.
Wow.
Yeah, my dining table is quite full of stuff at the moment. Most of it is listed, but we haven't been in the shed today because it's been a bit cold, so we'll go out there tomorrow.
Yes, we need more streamlined processes and
Julie says, I'm old school, also ledgers. Yes.
Yeah. It's so hard to change those habits. When you've been in this game for as long as we have, doing our tax and stuff in a certain way, breaking those habits or lack of habits in our case sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really
and
hard.
It's about starting a new habit, about putting the stuff on QuickBooks or I can't do that. And we've tried a couple of times to start, but then we just don't. So we just end up carrying on writing it in the book.
We will at some point.
Claire B says, simple Excel spreadsheet for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And most of us, our businesses are very simple. So an Excel spreadsheet is enough, really, right? In, out, shake it all about.
Tig Vintage says, I use bank downloads and eBay and Etsy downloads to do my accounts. That's exactly what we do.
Right.
And PayPal as well, because we still get some payments through PayPal.
Well, is it just me? Some people really overcomplicate their taxes. I'm not here to give advice, but we have conversations with friends and family and stuff, and you think you're making it way more complicated than it is. Ins, outs, shake it all about.
That's why you should have come to us for tax advice.
That's all the tax advice I've got.
Sarah Collins says, hi, I'm a business seller on eBay. I only sell on eBay. Had very good sales the past few months from summer to December. Since January 2025, had many days with 0 sales. I've never seen bad sales ever. I've heard that actually.
Wow.
A few people have been saying January's been awful.
Ours hasn't been that bad. Well,
So,
it's been propped up by some really nice chunky sales. If you remove those, our January probably has been pretty poor. Yeah, I don't know what to suggest.
the gentleman marketeer says, I'm about to build a stockroom in my garden. I'm planning on a 5,000 item store.
Wow.
And be able to work and ship in the same area.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Yes.
Tomorrow, that's what was wrong with my tables, part of the furniture.
Well, right. What's my tax simplest system? My tax system is simple. That's not easy to say. She's called Ally, though she'll thump me for calling her simple. Okay. Wow.
Derek says, I use QuickBooks for monthly totals. I also put individual cash purchases in a Google spreadsheet. So it's in the cloud and I just add the total to QuickBooks each month. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm at the end of the chat. Look at that. 3 minutes to 9.
Check us out.
Oh, what's Jessica saying? Blindsidedness is a shoebox with a lid you store your stuff in. I used to store your stuff in for years, and then when you open it, you find your listings or tax returns.
There's a box in this cupboard with receipts in.
Yeah, but that's fairly organised for us. We just separate out the years. That's fine.
Yes. But yeah, so going back to this listing challenge, that was a really good timing actually, when Derek got in touch and said, should we do a listing challenge? Because I think you were saying, Derek, you needed a bit of a push. I certainly need that right now. I have this ongoing commission deal, as you're probably aware, and it's a big one. And I need to crack through that at a rate of knots because I have my own backlog here to deal with as well. And I've been meaning to help Andrea. You cut through yours.
Yeah, you just took it all off the shelf and filled the table up. Now
I've
got to clear the table.
So it came at a good time. So we will do another live stream on Wednesday and see how far everybody's got and share some numbers then. And then, the following Monday or Tuesday, we'll get together and see who's listed the most items. That's one thing we're recording. Who's listed the most in monetary value. And then we'll see how many newly listed items we sold. Looking forward to the results. And if you are playing along at home, remember to keep track of your numbers. Okay,
as we're nearly at 9 o'clock, we'll do words of wisdom. And do you want to explain what words of wisdom is for those who don't know or are new here?
This, I believe, started during COVID when you used to end the stream with stay safe and sanitize. That sounds so dated now. And then that evolved into other words with wisdom in. So now what we do, ever since then, we hand it over to you at the end. If you have any words of wisdom. Who was it that came into the chat and said, I wonder why everyone was going, wow? Was it Mel?
Yeah. And I've just seen that Ross says that that GC is Gran Canaria. He's off to Gran Canaria.
Oh, lucky thing.
I know, I'm jealous.
We were actually saying that we're going to start a new thing perhaps next year. It's not going to work out for us this year, and going away in January somewhere hot.
Yeah,
that'll be it. That'll be a great start to the year.
I know, I'm fully on board with that one. Lex says, remember when I joined in your listing challenge and trounced you all?
Did you? Lex reached a milestone on YouTube.
Yes.
Was it 6,000?
Yeah, 6,000. Yeah, congrats, Lex.
Going places is Lexington.
Was Tina first with the wows? Oh no, Elaine was there.
Go on.
Elaine says, you are free to choose, but you are not free of the consequences of your choice.
That's good. I've never heard that. Yes, I like that a lot. Oh, thank you for the hashtag Team Nick. It just whizzed past. Thank you.
Tina says, getting older is no bad thing unless you're a banana. And Ian says, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. It's an Albert Einstein quote.
All right.
Ali says, list. Challenges don't win themselves.
I'm on it. I am all over this one.
Derek says, never take on a pain, brother, in a listing challenge.
I've taken on 2. What's wrong with me?
Oh, I think Sharon's words of wisdoms were good luck with the listings.
Thank you, Sharon.
Oh, reseller George is off to London tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Claire says, don't grow up. It's a trap. I agree.
It's a trap.
Elaine says, don't listen to negative comments. Yeah, totally.
Yes, it's something I'm a lot better at. And being on YouTube, putting yourself out there on social media, you kind of are forced to learn that one. If you don't learn it quick, it's a nightmare place to be. Yeah.
Fluffy Muffin says, no day is wasted if you're doing something you enjoy, even if that so what typo is that?
Even if that's
something maybe is nothing at all. Even if that something is nothing at all. Yeah. I remembered now what I was going to add to what we were talking about in terms of life balance, etc. And working for yourself and having your own job in some ways is adding to that, isn't it? It's adding to that quality of life, because
100%.
You completely control what you're doing, and you completely you're not beholden to someone else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Upon leaving my last paid employment many moons ago in 2002, I removed the lion's share of stress from my life. And you did the same, basically, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was working for yourself still has its own stresses, but
yeah, I will never say
you're more in control of your own life.
It's totally not an easy option. Yeah. But for me, it removed most of the negative things that were in my life, and that was stress from work. Yeah. So
Ross says, Tolkien nails it. It's the job that's never started as takes longest to finish, as my old gaffer used to say, and I don't reckon that these folk can do much more to help us, magic or no.
Well, it makes sense. The job that's never started takes the longest to finish. I actually
read that one, all right.
Did you manage to read it?
Lee says a chocolate orange a day keeps the doctor away. I'm not too sure about that.
Well, can I, before we all go, can I share a story? Our friend in the village, their dog, Ziggy, what a name for a dog, by the way, Ziggy, ate 2 whole chocolate oranges on a Sunday, and then Nikki, our friend, had to take Ziggy to have his stomach pumped.
Should laugh, really.
Out of hours. It cost about, what was it, 400 quid or something? A lot of money. So a chocolate orange a day doesn't keep the vet away. It incurs masses of vet fees. Yeah. Oh dear.
Sharon says, it is as it is.
Like it.
Oh, and then 3 people unsubbed. It's always the way.
Oh yes. If you don't work to build your dream life, someone will hire you to build theirs.
Oh yes. That's brilliant. I love that, James.
Yeah.
That might be the winner tonight.
Oh, totally. I've heard versions of that before, but I like how that's written there. That's really good. Yeah.
And Porky says success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. That's
good as well.
Now, Stu says kale tastes much better when you remove the K.
Update on dry January. We are still dry, although I did have some rum fudge.
Does that?
This has rum.
I'm not sure that counts.
It's so strong, isn't it? I might have got drunk on fudge. Yes, we have an interesting decision to make. We have a quiz team, and we won the last quiz last month, So we get a free round of drinks at the pub. Are we strong enough to turn down a free round of drinks?
Not sure yet. It would have been 3 weeks at that point.
And we won the quiz before. We're on a roll. We've never done 3 in a row, have we? No, I think we had 2 and then a gap, and then we won again. We've never done a hat trick at the quiz.
Well, we'll see. Ian says, if in doubt, then shake it all about. In column, out column, in and out, shake it all about. There you go. Tax advice. Mike says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Exactly. It's the same as the, it's not about getting knocked down. It's about how you get back up.
Oh,
that
not that
counts.
blooming Chumbawamba again.
I get knocked down. I get up again.
Will says, when life gives you lemons, learn how to juggle.
Nice.
Working for others equals stress. It really does.
What's Anthony say there?
Says, hi Nick, I was homeless a year ago. I was watching your YouTube channel, and I walked into a charity shop, bought a few things, sold it, kept doing it, and now I have a home, a car, and a life, and I still love it. Wow. Wow. That's the biggest wow for me. Oh my goodness.
I think we're gonna have to leave it there.
That's amazing, Anthony.
Thank you for sharing that. We've said it many times, but it's comments like that that kind of make sense of this whole weird YouTube thing we do. So
yeah. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Anthony. I really
yeah, stick at it.
Yeah.
If we've managed to help inspire you and to that extent, and it's helped out, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that is the biggest wow of all.
Thank you for sharing that. Oh, Master of Pieces, hello. Good to see you.
Yeah, Tamara says, I think Anthony wins.
Yeah.
I think Anthony does too.
100%. Oh, Debbie's doing dry January as well. Oh. It's not easy, is it?
Oh, what does Louise say? Appreciate what you have. You never know when or if it could be taken away. I'm thankful we don't have wildfires here. Absolutely.
Oh, good Lord, yes.
Thankfully, most of the singers, actors, actresses have confirmed they're safe.
I saw some of the footage. It was like a wasteland. Shocking. Right. So let's leave it on. If you
want something you've never had, you'll have to do something
you've never done. Yeah. 100%, Martin.
Yeah, but I do think Anthony is definitely the winner tonight. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the point in sharing, isn't it, really? The whole point in the channel, when I first made the decision to share, was to just go, oh, I enjoy this. I've got something to share. I've got something to say. Maybe it'll encourage someone else to give it a go. And here we are 10 years later, because I started 10 years ago. Well, it'll be 11 years this year.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. And thanks for all your words of wisdom. We'll be back next week. We haven't got back into the swing of chatting to people and getting guests on. We may do for next week. I don't know. We've got a lot on. I've got a listing challenge to win.
Exactly.
I've got the Payne brothers to beat. Oh, and Andrew and Tom. Right. If you can join us on Wednesday, the plan is we're going to do a halfway through the listing challenge update. And then we will announce all of our figures probably on the Monday after. Yeah, I'll try and put out a picking orders video tomorrow. I'll probably be wrapped up all warm with it. I had 2 hats on today. I had two.
It's not the first time he's done this. We used to go for walks with friends, and you had the nickname 2 Hats Nick.
I get cold. What can I say? There's nothing of me. So I will try and remember to do a picking orders video tomorrow in a cold shed. Yes, we'll do that. Yeah. Right. Thank you so much.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yep. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Ta-ra.